All right, class is in session doing atomic attraction. We're on chapter 18, doing a chapter a day. This one, hopefully, it's working out for everybody. But this one is this book's a little older, so it calls it online dating. It's not dating apps, but I'll give my 2 cents just real quick. Is I think online dating or dating apps, both same thing, is dead. The companies are hemorrhaging revenue. They are like 90% down from what they were, and that's because it's a bad product. We didn't realize it until too late. I had a lot of success on them. I had tons. I met tons and tons of people. Had a great time. But I think they've run their course, and for numerous reasons, they're just not effective anymore. Women had too much access, and I think to a certain degree, it takes our mating strategies and it amplifies them to degrees that aren't workable. So like women, they're hypergamous, so they're always looking for the next best thing, blah blah. And we saw that they were dating the 1-2% or whatever, 5% or whatever it was. And so there were tons of guys getting attention, and there were tons of guys that were sharing girls. And I don't think we saw how destructive it was. Seems like a great idea, seems awesome, to just sit at home and swipe and match with some hot girls, and that are looking for guys instead of having to be down in the trenches, doing it face to face. But I think that's the future. But I think if you really want success, I think you can get it anywhere. But I think truly it'll be meeting people in person. That's gonna be the way to go. But anyway, if you want to do online dating and think you can be successful, let's work on that and figure out what the book has to say about it. So, online dating. The goal of online dating is to get offline as fast as possible. That's facts. Ruth Webb. And yes, if they don't want to get offline, most women, especially now, that times are so tough on them. They're just looking for attention. Women have plenty of sexual attention. You can tell they're starved for actual attention. So if you want your time wasted, you gotta be very careful. The way that a girl likes you, give her something. Give her something to do. Request her to do something, and if she cooperates, she likes you. If she doesn't, any resistance is disinterest. Shout out, Mr. Lucario. All right, let's go. One of the advantages of online dating, it allows men to connect with hundreds of women in relatively short amount of time, or short space of time. In no time in history has it been easier to connect with so many women so quickly. A man with low self-esteem can interact with more women in a week than Casanova can expect to meet in an entire lifetime. Facts. And you'll also, because there's so many betas and so many losers, you're gonna be, you're gonna be, it's like guilty by association. If you're online, you're already thought as less than to a certain degree by women, I think. Anyway, and it matters where you meet people. Unlimited access to women does not make the seduction process any easier. Facts. A lot of times we think it will, but it's not. Before the internet, a man had to go out and seduce women face to face. Facts. I remember those days. He either failed in his endeavor or succeeded. In previous generations, if you wanted to meet a woman and become intimate, you had to summon a degree of courage. Exactly, and this meant that if you really liked a woman, you had to balls up and go get in front of her, because there's no way to swipe. And now I've been guilty as charged. You're in a slump and you're swipe. Now you get desperate and it's a slow Tuesday, and you know how it goes. Anyway, you had to summon a degree of courage to make it happen, right? Um, the internet enables, and erases the initial fear of meeting women for the first time. After all, uh, how easy is it to talk to women online for the first time? It's very easy. How scared it or how easy is it to talk to another person that has made it abundantly clear they are also interested in meeting someone? Yeah, that's the that's why people like it. But a lot of women are on there just to just to waste your time, and they have a boyfriend and they're talking to 10 different dudes. That's what we didn't know, right? And their rosters are increasing. And yeah, anyway, you must recognize that online dating is is not a problem free zone. There are many problems to overcome when it comes to online dating. When you meet women online, or you bypass important parts of the seduction process. The direct approach, you bypass the direct approach, a chance to display confidence and strength as a result. Uh, Anytime you meet a woman online, she is going to have lower levels of attraction for you. And that's why I think a lot of guys have problems with the foodie dates and all that, because, and I said this before, I see it corroborates what I say. How do you know someone's what they're talking about? So what I've said is, too often we as men, we're going out with women, myself included at times when I didn't know as much, is that we're going out with women that are have medium to low interest in us, and that's miserable, right? We think, oh, she wants to meet, blah blah, and we think that's we don't know. At least I didn't for a long time. Didn't know there was a difference. Oh, she wants to meet. Maybe I can seduce her into liking me. But if they're in low interest, they're going to treat you different than if they're at medium interest. I will only deal with high interest. That's the only ones you should deal with. But it's hard to find those online because, just like this said, they're going to have lower levels of attraction for you because you're not in front of them. They can't see that you're a strong, confident person. Okay. Let's see. They're going to have lower levels of attraction for you than she would have if she met you in person. Correct. That's why you got to balls up now. I think it's more important to be, like I said, do group things. One important question: are you able to seduce her without the help of the internet? Facts. A woman will test you to measure your strength in the world of online dating. You are you are judged first and foremost by your appearance. Correct. That's why a lot of times the chads, we're getting a lot of the a lot of guys, they might not be as like a chad, but their personality, seriously, their personality makes them, so much more attractive from what I understand. Like, women tell you that, it's, you need to look max, but at the same time, a lot of guys, it's their personality and their, maybe their average looks, but their personality ends up bringing out those looks. A lot of times, that women tell me that, if you are to have any success online, you must learn to cultivate an attractive online image. Correct. You know, yeah. Pictures of you, good pictures, you in a suit, nowadays you need to be doing probably professional pictures, definitely having someone else take them, don't do selfies, don't be smiling, take one of you in a suit, take one of you doing something athletic, if you got a good physique, take that shirt off, I'm serious, but have someone else take the picture, like you throwing a ball around or something, show that you got friends, those kind of things. You can achieve this by painting yourself in a strong, positive light. First impressions are so powerful. A study published in Personality and Social Psychology Bulletin, people can accurately predict the personality of people they see for the first time, even in photographs. Qualities like extroversion, self-esteem, confidence can all be judged accurately simply by looking at a person's appearance. And then it talks about a case study about Vanessa, and she was, talking to this guy, and he looked attractive, and he was witty, and he was funny, and he looked, athletic. But when she met him, what'd she get? She got a guy that was overweight, was not funny, was very nervous, had low self-esteem. So basically, it's talking about, a lot of times what people put online is, and every guy's been catfished by the headshot girl, myself included. So, catfishing is a big problem online. So, if you're going to do online, you got to have great pictures. I think it works better for the guys that are jacked, do not take selfies. Take pictures of you doing something, athletic. Women love athletics. Women love a guy in a suit. Have other people take the picture for you. Women don't. Women like it when, and maybe show yourself in a team event or around friends and, stuff like that, so that they can write their own story about you, But when you're online, get offline as fast as possible. Introduce yourself, What I usually would try to do is say, hey, reaching out to introduce myself. My name is, Steve. Nice to meet you, and they'll usually write right back, and then say, hey, text me at this number so we can connect and have a phone conversation or whatever you want to do. Or, we can plan a date, and the only response you want from that is a text message to your phone. Anything else, you're done. Because a woman that really likes you, and you can watch my other videos on this, but a woman that really likes you will text you back, So the only way you know if a woman likes you is if she's cooperating with what you tell her to do. And when you give her your phone number to tell her to text you, and I've had other videos on this, is when they really like a guy, they text him, okay? There should be, if they throw you their number, do not text them. That is them being disrespectful and defiant. That is disinterest. Okay? A woman that, let's say you had $1 billion and you gave her, hey, text me here and I can give you $1 billion. And that's how you should see yourself. So you give her your phone number, say, hey, text me. I'd like to connect with you. Whatever. And if she said, oh, I want to get to know you on here, you're done. You're done. Any resistance is disinterest. So if you don't get a text back after you tell her, again, you introduce yourself. Hey, I'd like to reach out and introduce myself. My name is Bob, nice to meet you, and then then wait for her. And if she likes your pictures and your profile, she'll say, hey, nice to meet you. Do not put a long bio. Women don't care about your bios. One thing I've done, it seems to work, is you put Greek Stoic philosophy quote. They like those. I'm serious. There's one on Zeus. You can look it up, but they like this one a lot. It's Zeus. Something about what it was. A human had two faces, 4 hands, 4 legs, and Zeus split it in half. And so, again, I'm paraphrasing. And then so now the 2 halves are constantly looking. So basically, it's a man and woman, right? So the man and woman, so the 2 halves are constantly looking for each other. Just look it up, Google it. But the women love that one. But think of a good one. Something like Seneca has one about, life is not. It's not that life is short, but we waste time. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, put that in your bio. Don't give out too much information about yourself. They don't care. All right, that's all I got for now. See you on the next one.